He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.
Well, how you doing, America? And welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, where we talk about life, we talk about liberty, we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and we show the world that, yes, us Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you're located. Just remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Just think about it. Without him, ladies and gentlemen, you would not be here. Just think about this. If you're atheist, if you're agnostic, or you're a Christian, just think, if it wouldn't have been for our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, coming 2,000 years or so to redeem us, mankind, we wouldn't be here. No one would be here. We would be lost without any hope. But thank the Lord. Now, I can understand I might have some people in the audience that might be atheist and agnostic. I'm sorry. But, you know, the way I believe, if Christ wouldn't have came, none of us would be here. But so just remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. Rejoice and be glad in it. Because, look, unfortunately, death is all around us. And one day you're going to die. There's a 100% chance you're going to die. And, you know, I had a friend tell me this early at church who was talking, and he said, you know, I'd rather believe in a God and trust in him for my salvation instead of saying I'm not going to believe in him and I'm going to live a life of sin and wake up one day and be like, oh, I was wrong. That is look, there's some gamblers out there. There's people that gamble for a living. And they're pretty good, but ain't that a big gamble? You think about it. Isn't that a big gamble to take that, you know, the creator of the universe and say, well, I choose not to believe in him. What if he exists? Now, you might say, well, Isaac, what if he doesn't exist? Well, I've lived my life a moral life. And if I go to the ground, at least I was moraled. And, you know, hey, I don't lose nothing. I go to the ground. I go to dust. I will die and just be worm food. But I know I'm right. I've experienced the gospel of Jesus Christ. I know I'm right. And one day we're going to be in heaven. So I got a quick announcement. This will be the last episode of the year. Now, probably some of y'all like, listen, last episode. Oh, Isaac, what happened? Oh, my goodness, what happened? No, the Cajun Conservative will be back in 2023. So I started thinking about it, and the BGS Media Studio is probably going to be off for 2 weeks. Well, we will be off for 2 weeks. We at the time of this recording, in a few hours, we're probably going to be recording the last episode of 2022 of Brothers Just Searching. Now, that podcast we filmed an episode and a few episodes before, and we space it out, so we're not that big in a rush. We always have material dropping every week for Brothers Just Searching, but we teamed up with Brothers Just Searching, and we said, listen, I teamed up with the guys over there on BGS Media, at BGS Media. I was like, listen, let's record twice in 1 week, or twice in 2 weeks, and we're gonna have Christmas and New Year's off, because we normally record on Sundays. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's take 2 weeks off. Let's just have, and originally we were planning to take the whole month of December off, but we decided to go this route instead. Well, I was planning on doing an episode on the 28th and on the 4th. I was going to take off Sunday, the 31st, the Christmas. I was supposed to do one on the 21st and the 28th. That's when I record. That's not when they come out. And I was just thinking to myself, man, this is Christmas. The most wonderful time of the year. We're remembering the time of our Lord and our Savior being born on earth. So I decided that, and I'm going to miss you guys. I really am going to miss coming behind the microphone, giving my opinion, and spending time with you guys and ladies. But we're going to take 2 weeks off. And look, been doing this for 2 years. I'm not griping or complaining. I want to be truthful of what I'm saying right here. For the last 2 years, it's been nonstop here at BGS Media. And, you know, we're responsibilities for the church. We're responsibilities for my home life, my family. It's been pretty much in a nutshell. So I just decided, hey, look, I want to take a break. I just wanted to take a break from the media side. I want to take just chill, relax, and spend time with the family. So our next episode, let's see, probably will be on the 5th of 2023. Of January 2023. So that's going to be our next episode that's going to drop. We're going to start off fresh. We're going to start off renewed. And look, I will give you a promise, though. I will give a promise to anyone that listens faithfully on this show. If something major happens, I will be in the studio and I will make a video, or I will make a bonus podcast episode to that. With that being said, this is episode 144 of our podcast, and my time flies. I wasn't planning on saying none of this. I just want to come in here and give my heart opinion. My God honest opinion, as they would say. It's just 2 years. 2 years. It made 2 years in November. We're going on to the third year strong. I can't wait to see what 2023 is coming about. Got my Spotify information the other day. We're in the top 20 downloads for the nation. We had a lot of good feedback this year, and I can't wait to take these 2 weeks off to reflect and look at the channels and look at the podcast and see what we did good, what we didn't do good, how we can change this. I can't wait to do this full time. I'm believing that, and I hope you're believing with me that one day we can probably do this full time. Just not us here on Cajun Conservative side, but also on the BGS Media side, and Brothers Just Searching podcast as well. So, all right. So let's start off with some things I saw this week that the last couple of days that I really am saying wow to, because I don't get the left. I really don't. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of years ago, and not recently, since Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, Elon Musk has been the news for Twitter. He has been the one that has gone ahead and said, look, I want to bring back free speech. I want to go ahead and I want to make sure that the platform is run right. I want to make sure that we can make some money off of this thing. And ladies and gentlemen, the left went berserk. Why did the left go berserk? I think because of what we saw this week with Elon Musk. But I want to go ahead and give you some more content on this. And this is why conservatives are laughing their butts off. Because especially between 2016 and 2020, conservatives were censored. I don't care who you are. I don't care who your mindset or whatever. You cannot tell me that conservatives were censored. Ladies and gentlemen, in January 6th of 2021, a president was pulled off of Twitter. Now we know through Twitter files that have been dropping, and they've been dropping more and more every day. And we're seeing a lot more with this Twitter file drop, that the federal government and all this stuff. This Twitter dump, these Twitter dumps are really showing how the old Twitter was run. And if you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, especially in 2020 and in 2021, leading up to here, conservatives were censored. Conservatives were suspended. A former president was suspended. You had, I think it was Charlie Kirk and a few other people that were pulled from Twitter. Now, we still have some conservatives that were still on Twitter. I had a personal account. I didn't make a Cajun Conservative account because I knew if I would say something, and I don't tweet as much as I should. I don't even post on Facebook like I used to. I just knew that there was a possibility if I went on there with my opinion that it would be pulled off. And I have a more right-leaning opinion. I'm not ultra right. I'm not ultra mega. Somebody called me the other day a MAGA knight. I'm not MAGA. I'm ultra MAGA. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not that. I lean more towards the right. I don't believe any way towards the left, but I lean towards the right. I'm a conservative. That's what I identify myself as. But anyway, I knew that there was a possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm facing that with YouTube and other social media accounts where I have to be careful what I say, have to articulate my words, and say something right so I don't get pulled off. And that has happened with the right for the last couple of years. But now we get into a new era of social media where Elon Musk takes over. We used to have Parler, but Twitter, Facebook, and other big platforms had really shot that down real quick. Because if you remember, the left says, well, if you don't like our platform, go make your own. We did. Somebody went ahead and took some money and made Parler. And because Parler was making so much, was starting to get to an area of free speech, well, we got to shut that down. But it was revealed this week, however, that Elon Musk took over a couple of months ago. But this week, Twitter really shook up the media. Why was that? Because this was reported by Fox News. Twitter suspends CNN, New York Times, Washington Post journalist Elon Musk alleges they're banned for doxing his family. So what happened was Elon Musk said that these people revealed where he lived and he was getting threatened. And because of that, they went against the community guidelines of Twitter, so they were pulled. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not how the left looked at this. The left says that, he's suppressing free speech. He's taking away people on the left. He's silencing our voices. The left crucified Elon Musk this week because Elon Musk decided to pull off left-leaning journalists. Now, Town Hall also went ahead and had a report on this. I thought I saved it, but I can go to my next note. The title of their article from Town Hall was "What Goes Around Comes Around. Twitter Suspends Multiple Reporters' Accounts." And I like how a writer of this article starts off. He says, "Welcome to the party, pal. That's all I can say regarding this slur of account suspended on Twitter for no reason." Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is some people saying the reason why Elon Musk did this was because they were speaking against Elon Musk, or they were going against the right. Now, we do know that Elon Musk has been voting the right lately. He said he's starting to vote Republican. He understands the attack that the right's been facing from the left. Now he is going full Republican. I didn't say conservative. Because right now I think there's a big difference between conservatives and Republicans. I might have to address that later on. But ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk has been more going towards Republicans. Now this is where, let's say it like this, everything that the left told us we were crazy on, now they're accusing Elon Musk of doing. Remember, the left said you're crazy, you're foolish, you're stupid to think that Twitter is suspending conservatives. Come on, man. But now the shoe has flipped on the other foot. Now the CEO, Elon Musk, he is pulling people because they don't align with his views. Oh my goodness, now it's a crime. Now it's an issue. Now we got to go ahead and address the issue of social media suppressing reporters. But according to the left, this was all fine. Just a couple of short months ago, when Donald Trump didn't have an account, when Greg Locke didn't have an account, when multiple conservative-leaning people, let's go to that branch of the Republican-leading people that were suspended off of Twitter. Why? Because of hate speech. Or because it went against the community guidelines. You know, social media really don't give you a reason why they're pulling you off. They just say, well, you went against our community guidelines. I said, and look, the video's still trending on YouTube, Facebook, where I said I was in social media jail because of YouTube's strike on me. Now, we are still on YouTube. We're not trying to break the community guidelines. All we're trying to do is expose the lies and introduce you to the truth. That's all we're doing. And if you like that content, please hit the subscribe button, because that's what you get on this channel. You get the truth, and you get the lies get exposed, and you're introduced to the truth. You should go ahead and subscribe to the channel that you're listening on, because that's the content you're going to get here. But now it's a big but now that the left is getting suspended, now that the left is getting censored, this is becoming a big issue. Now, look, it would not surprise me that the next Senate that comes into power, that is going to be led under Chuck Schumer, there will be legislation to make sure that censorship does not happen on social media. Why, you may ask? Because Elon Musk suspended liberal reporters. Now, on a different note, Elon Musk he went ahead and reinstated those accounts because of pushback and because of things of that nature. And Elon Musk went ahead and polled users on Twitter on reinstating suspended journalists and defends himself in the Twitter space. This is according to Fox News. And it was polled, I think, 51-49. Musk's poll pulled in 121.6 million followers on his channel, on his Twitter. And it was 58-41. And the question was, when do I reinstate him? Do I give him 7 days? And look, that was an old thing, ladies and gentlemen. He only suspended him for 7 days. He didn't suspend him for a ban like Trump. Poor Trump. Trump was fact check. Trump was this. Trump was everything on Twitter. And when they banned him, they didn't give him 7 days. They didn't give him 14 days. They didn't give him a month. You know how long they gave him? Bam, you're suspended indefinitely. Elon Musk went ahead and asked his followers, and 58% of his followers said, hey, put them back on. And this is why look, and this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing this all out. I'm showing you the hypocrisy, but my personal belief was that Elon Musk preached that he was going to bring Twitter back to a free speech platform. You could say what you want on Twitter. Now, as long as it don't incite violence, as long as it, I can understand that. If you're inciting violence or threatening people, you should get your Twitter removed. That's not right. But for opinions like yours truly that says an opinion, oh, well, we don't like his opinion, we're going to pull it off. That shouldn't be done. He ran on that. Now, he suspended these people because he felt they said where his house was and all that. I understand all that. But ladies and gentlemen, he said he was buying this for people to have free speech back. It doesn't look good that you go ahead and say, hey, I'm giving you a free speech platform as long as you don't talk against me. And ladies and gentlemen, that's not right. He should not have suspended these people. Now, if they did go ahead and incite violence, or if they went ahead and threatened him, you have an argument there. But he went ahead and put him back. They're on Twitter back now, ladies and gentlemen. But the left thinks this is a mortal crime because Elon Musk suspended left-leaning reporters. Where were these same people? Just a couple of months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, when Donald Trump was banned, when Charlie Kirk was banned, when a lot of right-leaning people got their accounts suspended. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I say the Democrats perform hypocrisy at its finest. Because, ladies and gentlemen, see, as long as it was done to the conservatives, it was all right. You can censor people on the right. You can censor people that are talking crazy against the Democrats and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and all this conspiracy theory here. Yes, that's fine. Go ahead. Suspend them. But now that the left is being suspended, and now that the left is being accused of spreading false information and conspiracy theories, and Elon Musk is pulling them off. Oh, a mortal sin has occurred. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's the left being suspended now. Does it make it right? No. But it's funny how when the shoe is put on the other foot, things happen or things change. Their opinion changes all of a sudden. You can't suppress free speech as long as you're a Republican. If you're a Republican, we can suspend your free speech. But if you're a Democrat on the left, you can't touch them. They can speak freely. With that being said, we'll be right back after this short break. you doing, everyone? Isaac here. I'm the Cajun Conservative, and I want to thank Brother Lanny Hayes from Hayes' Dump Truck Service for their generous support of the Cajun Conservative and Brothers Just Searching. Hayes' Dump Truck Service serves the Lafayette and surrounding areas. If you have any job that you need done, like cleanup or hauling material to your job site or your home, we haul limestone, we haul sand, we haul topsoil, any type of material you need. If you're in the Lafayette and surrounding areas, please call Brother Lanny Hayes at 337-852-8043. Remember, Hayes' Dump Truck Service, where Jesus is Lord of the company.
Cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul.
All right, everybody, welcome back to this segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. So on the conversation of Twitter, former CEO Jack Dorsey takes full blame for government interfering with Twitter amidst his mistakes. Former Twitter co-founder and CEO Jack Dorsey admit that he led the company down the wrong path and still has significant problems with Twitter. I can understand it. Jack Dorsey's probably thinking the problems that Twitter has is Elon Musk, because Elon Musk has started all these problems. So to tell the world what Twitter was doing, that's a problem. Big problem. But anyway. Dorsey outlined 3 principles he believed Twitter needs to abhor something without even mentioning Musk. Social media must be re-silenced to corporate and government control. Only the original author may remove content they produce. Moderation is the best implement by algorithm choices. This comes from Dorsey. The Twitter when I led it and the Twitter of today do not meet any of these principles, Dorsey's admitted. He takes full responsibility for not problems. He took full responsibility for not problems the company faces today. So he's saying, look, the problems of the past, the government telling us who to censor, who not to censor, who to go ahead and block, who to go ahead and, shadow ban. That was on me. But the problems of the day, like Elon Musk telling people, hey, we're going to go ahead and present free speech to you. That ain't my problem. That ain't me. And look, I agree with him. I do agree with him. The problems that Twitter are facing today is not his problem. He didn't do nothing. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad he admitted, but I think it's kind of the situation like this, okay? Have you ever walked into into a kitchen and you see the kid with their hands in the cookie jar and be like, can I have a cookie? I'm sorry, I was taking a cookie without asking. You're catching them red-handed. And this is what Elon Musk has done to Jack Dorsey and to the FBI and to everyone else that was involved with the government looking over Twitter. He allowed it. Now he kind of has no choice but to admit, hey, I didn't do it right. Because, a lot of people, maybe it wasn't Jack Dorsey, it was maybe people underneath him. He's still the leader of the company. He has to know what's going on. You don't think somebody knocked on his door and said, hey, the FBI came to my office today and they want to censor Donald Trump and they want to censor Ted Cruz. They want to censor this one, Dan Bongino, Charlie Kirk, all these people they want to censor? Like Jack Dorsey didn't know what was going on. But Jack Dorsey admitted it, ladies and gentlemen. So now the left, of course, you have to forgive him. He admitted to his failure. He admitted he did wrong. Can we just forget about it? And this is one of the problems with the left. See, if the left does something wrong, you have to forgive them. You have to go ahead and say, look, we know you made a mistake. We know you really didn't mean it. You were just frustrated or angry and you said something you weren't supposed to say. So, hey, you're forgiven. You said you were sorry. But see, when the right does something wrong, all hell breaks loose against them. All major media companies are asking for them to be fired. All major media companies and the left is asking for them to be crucified. Why? Even if they come out and they say they're sorry, It don't matter. Your intent was to do evil and wrong, you white racist bigot. Am I right, folks? Just think about it. The left can say whatever they want, and they get backlash for it. And all they say, we're sorry. And the media goes, well, they apologized today. Now let's go ahead and talk about the right and what they did wrong, and let's see how we can cancel them. The right apologizes and says, look, we're sorry. We did make a mistake. We said something wrong. Yeah, but you should get off the air, you white racist bigot. You homophobic idiot. That's how this world works. And this is how they're going to treat Jack Dorsey. Well, Jack Dorsey knew something was going on. But ladies, and look, I wouldn't be even surprised that they didn't even mention that. Because if you think about it, they wanted, as I was just mentioning in the first segment, they wanted people to be censored. They wanted people like Dan Bongino, Charlie Kirk, and everybody else, or everybody on the right at least, to be canceled, to be censored, to not get their opinion out there because they did not lean left. And this is why they're mad at Elon Musk. This is why they didn't want Elon Musk to take over Twitter. This is exactly why they didn't want Elon Musk to take over Twitter, because they were worried that Elon Musk would censor them. And apparently he's doing that. Do I agree with it? Like I said in the first segment, no. I don't like being censored. I have been censored already. I know. I don't like it. But this is another difference between the left and the right. See, on the left, you can say whatever you want, and you're not threatened to be censored off of it or canceled. But on the right, we are. And it's, what's good for you is supposed to be what's good for me. And look, ladies, look, on another point, on the right, we don't like something, we turn it off. We don't watch it. The left, heck on it. We're going to cancel y'all. We don't want y'all on the air at all. We just don't want to be influenced by y'all. We're just going to turn y'all off. Well, we don't want you to influence somebody else. And that is the difference between the left and the right. The left, once they disagree with you, you got to cancel them. On the right, we just don't listen to y'all, but you can still voice your opinion. Like I said, Jack Dorsey, and look, Jack Dorsey is just, he apologized. That's all they're going to say. And look, now, and this goes to another, I'm just thinking about this as well. All these people that are out there, and I experienced some of them already on TikTok and other forms of social media. Oh, the Twitter files don't prove nothing. The Twitter files, you're making all that up. Jack Dorsey admitting to his failure in Twitter, that shows that there was something afoot. Let's go ahead and move on. Article written by Fox News. This was published on the 16th of December, which was Friday. 40 House Democrats joined legislation to bar Trump from public office. A group of 40 House Democrats have put forward legislation that would bar former President Trump from holding public office again under the 14th Amendment. If you read I'm going to read the amendment that is written in this article. The 14th Amendment states, no person shall hold any office, civil or militarily, under the United States who have previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the state of the United States to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemy thereof. Now, the Democrats argued that this language, adopted in the 1860s to prevent former Confederates from occupying positions in the federal government after the Civil War, should apply to Trump, who they allege incited insurrection against the United States on January 6th of 2021. Why is this being pushed right now? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is the January 6th committee. And I believe that is an article by Parler. Let me go, not Parler, Politico. January 6th, and this is exclusively to Politico. January 6th panel to vote on urging DOJ to prosecute Trump on at least 3 criminal charges. Because according to the January 6th committee, they believe that Donald Trump planned this insurrection. Donald Trump told his followers to go to Washington. That is right. He did tell them, hey, we're having a protest. Come to Washington. We're going to call it Save the Union or whatever it was called. And they're trying to say that Donald Trump single-handedly put people in place to go ahead and invade the capital of the United States of America. And to go ahead and to take over America and make him the president of the United States. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I saw January 6th. It was horrible. Seeing our capital raided like that because people didn't think the system worked for them. It was horrible. But ladies and gentlemen, there is no proof whatsoever that Donald Trump led insurrection. None whatsoever. There's none. There's no smoking gun. There's no videotapes. There's nothing. But see, the January 6th committee believes that Donald Trump led this insurrection. So now the Democrat Party, or some in the Democrat Party, and look, every single Democrat, the all 213 that are sitting in the House of Representatives will back this legislation. It wouldn't even surprise me that even some Republicans would back this legislation. It probably would get the majority in the House. Will it get majority in the Senate? If it goes to a 51 vote threshold, yes, it would. All on because people assume Donald Trump did something wrong. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've had this argument with left-leaning people already. I've had a gentleman that I know for years stand in my living room and tell me that Donald Trump told these people to go attack the Capitol. And when I quoted that Donald Trump said, I want you to go and protest peacefully and patriotically, make your voices heard. He specifically said peacefully. Oh, no. We want to scratch that quote out. Ladies and gentlemen, now look, I knew the January 6th committee was going to come and say, hey, we need to put criminal charges on Donald Trump. That was obvious on the people that was sitting on the committee, including the two Republicans that voted to impeach Donald Trump. So it was obvious. It was dead obvious they were going to do this. But these 40 Democrats putting this legislation together, they're prepping. They're getting ready. Because, ladies and gentlemen, they will try to push Donald Trump to criminal charges. And they're saying, look, and this whole legislation, the 14th Amendment, where it states that no person shall hold any office who has previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or office of the United States to support the Constitution of the United States, still have engaged in an insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid. Look, the Confederate soldiers or the Confederate officers that were trying to become senators and congressmen and possibly president of the United States, it was obvious by their military record that they went ahead and joined the South. There was proof there. This is why, but there's no proof. None whatsoever. Now, if you watch the January 6th committee, they have all the proof in the world. But that is only a one-sided argument. Now, if this goes to criminal investigation or if this goes to trial, the Trump legal team will have a chance to argue their case. I understand all that. But this isn't America, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he caused the insurrection. What is your proof? The January 6th committee has the proof. If you remember, these are the same people that said the Russian collusion was real. And Adam Schiff, remember Adam Schiff? One of the big dogs in the January 6th committee? We have proof that Donald Trump went ahead and colluded with Russia. None whatsoever. Their own special prosecutor, Robert Mueller, said that Donald Trump or his team did not collude with Russia. And they're still harping on that, ladies and gentlemen. They're still harping on that. But now this does raise a question as well, though. Will the Democrat Party joint legislation to bar Joe Biden from social media? Wasn't it his team that went ahead when the first Twitter files that came out showed that the Biden administration teamed up with Twitter to censor certain people? Oh, Isaac, that's social media. That don't mean nothing. Oh, really? Don't mean nothing. Well, you got to realize Donald Trump trying to take over the United States. Is he still the president of the United States? No. Ladies and gentlemen, he stayed in office for I don't know how many days after. He peacefully transferred the power. Oh, that's because the January 16th didn't work. Well, you can believe whatever. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I can talk to somebody blue in the face about this and give them all the facts, give them all the opinions. If they want to believe Donald Trump caused the insurrection, they're going to believe Donald Trump caused the insurrection. It don't matter. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. We'll be right back after this short break.
Cheers and good on you, boys and girls. My name is Scott Ford, and I have a show on Rumble. It's the Scott Ford Show, all in one word, the Scott Ford Show, and it's on Rumble. And I also have a motivational success show on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell. That would mean a lot to me. Enjoy your life. Thank you, Isaac. God bless.
You're my peace of mind when this old world seems to get me down.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Ladies and gentlemen, so, Joe Biden's running around this great country, and he's saying how he's popular and that people would vote for him for re-election if he's the nominee for the Democrat Party and all that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it is bad when your own party goes ahead and runs ads for you not to run for president in 2024. What you talking about, Isaac? What you mean? Well, Progressive Group runs blunt new ad. Don't run Joe. A new minute-long ad from Roots Action, which describes itself as on his Twitter page as a progressive group that helps defeat Trump, aired this week in New Hampshire, a spot featuring real voters explaining why they don't want Biden 80 to run again. And this is one of the this is part of the ad. We can't afford to risk the White House to a Republican who could defeat status quo Joe, said one New Hampshire voter. As imagined on the screen shows former President Donald Trump and Florida Ron DeSantis often mentioning as the front runners for the GOP nomination in 2024. One voter says, "I'm concerned with Joe Biden's low polling." Another said, "Low priority. His ways too much of a gamble." And yet another said, "If he runs, the election is in serious risk." Ladies and gentlemen, you never heard. Now you're hearing it. Don't get me wrong. Now you're hearing it. For 2024, like me, I hope Donald Trump don't run. But in 2020, you never heard one conservative, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. There maybe was some people. There were some people out there that said, "No, we don't want Donald Trump. Donald Trump's bad for the nation." Oh, I forgot Liz Cheney and all of them. They probably were saying that behind closed doors. There probably were some Republicans. I can't say everybody, but you didn't see no Republican run an ad saying, "Don't run, Donald, don't run." But you're seeing progressives say, "Hey, we don't want Joe Biden to run for president. We don't want Joe Biden near the Oval Office." And ladies and gentlemen, that's the hypocrisy right now with Joe Biden. Joe Biden is running around saying, "I was the president that got the most votes ever as a president. I'm one of the most popular presidents out there." With low approval ratings. and with people saying they just don't want to vote for him. Ladies and look, this is why I honestly think that Gavin Newsom is prepping to run for 2024. He says he's not, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's a couple of Democrats running, because especially on the progressive side, a lot of young people have refused. Cori Bush, AOC, and a few other progressive congressional leaders have refused to say if they're voting for Joe Biden in the 2024 election. It is, ladies and gentlemen, when I saw this, I'm like, wow. Now, we do know that Ron DeSantis is moving up into the front runners position in the GOP. But we're going to have to see what happens. All right, one more small story before I get into this story about voter fraud. And no, it's not it's not voting fraud. Correction, voting rights or voting laws concerning IDs. I shouldn't have said voter fraud. Correction. But anyway, Trump endorsed McConnell for Speaker, warns defectors. Former President Donald Trump endorsed Representative Kevin McCarthy for Speaker of the House in a Friday interview with Breitbart. McConnell faces an uphill battle in securing the speakership. His alliance are engaging in aggressive tactics to gain the necessary votes. This is Trump's quote, "I like him." He said in an interview before launching into a triumph against former Speaker Paul Ryan. This guy, Paul Ryan, couldn't have gotten elected in his own area of Wisconsin. I went with him after I won the election, and we had a tremendous crowd of people, and they booed him off the stage. You remember that? You booed him off the stage. This guy is now telling Fox what to do. When asked to clarify whether he supports McConnell for Speaker, Trump replied, "Yeah, I support McConnell." So, ladies and gentlemen, remember the people that are against McConnell right now are mega Trump people. They're saying that McConnell cannot get it done. At least McConnell got the House. Was it by slim majority? Absolutely. But he did get over the 218 threshold. It's better than what McCarthy, correction, I say McConnell, McCarthy. McCarthy went ahead and Trump supports McCarthy. But at least McCarthy got the House. McConnell couldn't even get the Senate because McConnell had his pride in the way. Kevin McCarthy said, however, he thinks he thought it was going to be a red wave. But he read some bad data. Something happened, but he still got the House of Representatives. It would have looked bad if he didn't. But now that he got the House of Representatives, there's some people behind him that want that power now. They want that power of the House Speaker. So I want to see what happens, because now that Trump supported him, the ones that were not supporting him were Trump-backed people. And look, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you, I think this is a mistake by the Republican Party to oppose Kevin McCarthy. I think Kevin McCarthy should be the House Speaker. This man has busted his butt. I think they would have put him as House Speaker before Paul Ryan. Trump would have got a lot further, and Trump probably would have been in a second term. But because they went ahead and listened to Paul Ryan, now on a quote that Donald Trump was talking about Paul Ryan, how he's telling Fox News everything that telling Fox News what to do. I don't know about all that incident, but Paul Ryan was one of the worst House Speakers for the Republican Party. He was. I'm sorry. It's just, he didn't get the job done. Why? Because instead of supporting the President of the United States, he was behind closed doors talking to the rhinos and seeing how to sabotage Donald Trump's agenda. And that's because Paul Ryan is a rhino. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about voting laws. The North Carolina Supreme Court strikes down a voter ID law claiming it is racially motivated purposes. The 2018 law required residents to present identification before being able to vote. The Supreme Court ruling affirmed that the policy was motivated by a racially discriminated purpose. It was passed along party lines in a 4-3 decision, with Democrats for the measure and Republicans against it. Meanwhile, Nebraska passed a voter ID measurement for the upcoming elections. So, ladies and gentlemen, the North Carolina Supreme Court shot down a law saying you need a voter ID, and it went 4-3, 4 Democrats, 3 Republicans voting. So this is it really racially motivated, or does it hurt the Democrats' chances for winning elections in North Carolina? Now, I'm guessing, let's see. They don't say if they're going to appeal to the Supreme Court. I think they should. And let's get the Supreme Court's opinion on this. Now, this is also a state issue, so we don't know if, because states bring out the laws and everything of that nature. But ladies and gentlemen, I learned something about the Democrat Party. It don't matter. It could be anything. It could, it could be something great for the nation. And if the Democrat Party thinks it's a threat to their elections, they're going to shoot it down. Ladies and gentlemen, and look, they say that voter ID is racially motivated because they say more white people get IDs than more African Americans. There's a problem with that. You're telling the black community that, hey, you're ignorant and you can't get an ID? Ladies and gentlemen, I've already said this on this program multiple times. The only reason a person is not getting an ID or getting a driver's license is because they don't want it. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen people pass the driver's test. They want people to get driver's license. There's some people that got driver's license. They weren't that smart, but they still got a driver's license. And you might say, well, Isaac, how you know they're not smart? Go drive on I-10 in between Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Louisiana. You see how smart some people are. Ladies and gentlemen, even a federal ID, just a regular little ID to show who you are, that's easy to get. I got that when I was 16 years old because I needed to work. You didn't have to get a test for that. You paid the DMV people their money, and guess what? They gave you a picture ID just to show who you are. Now, I know that's Louisiana. That might not be North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, first, the Democrats' argument that this is racially motivated is hogwash. This Supreme Court right here was biased. No, why are you saying that, Isaac? Because 3-4. 4 Democrats, 3 Republicans. It's funny that's how. Now you might say, now people might say this too. Well, Isaac, what if it was 4 Republicans and 3 Democrats? Well, you can say it's biased too. Because the Republicans want voter IDs and they think it's right, and the Democrats, that's the mindset. Democrats think it's racially motivated, and the Republicans are like, no, this stops voter fraud. And ladies and gentlemen, look, this is why you're never going to get voter ID in California. This is why you're never going to get voter ID in a lot of leftist states, because it does not help the Republicans. It helps the Democrats. Because you know how they always say, where dead people vote? I heard stories where Mickey Mouse went vote multiple times in the state of California. Probably voted in other places that did not have voter ID. Ladies and gentlemen, voter ID is essential to elections. You should, as a citizen, you should be a citizen of the United States. That's the first point. But you should prove who you are before you cast that vote. Because what if somebody comes up behind you or somebody comes up before you and you can't cast your vote? They deprive you of your vote. If they voted in the way you was going to or not, it don't matter. Or these people can vote in one location and go to another location and vote, and go to another location and vote. Checks and balances. But ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party, why they hate voter ID so much? Because it helps them win elections. Because you don't have to prove you're a citizen of the United States. You don't have to prove if you live in the right. You just go up there and say, hey, I'm Joe Blow and I'm coming vote for whoever. And they have to let you vote. That's how these states work. And it's sad. It's sad. Now, like I said, I think this should go to the Supreme Court unless there's a rule about taking up state issues. But I think North Carolina, the legislature should put it up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court should say, well, look, the state approved this. And if it was passed, that's another thing. If it was passed by if it was passed by its citizens, it should go through. But all the Supreme Court said of North Carolina that, this was racially motivated, and we're going to strike it down because of those reasons. And it's sad. It is sad that we're seeing this in America. But this is the country that goes ahead and takes out plaques to former Supreme Court justices because they ruled in a favor that was not right. Heck, everything else they did right, but that was one decision they made was wrong. So let's take down their buzz. Let's cancel them. Let's do that. That's the nation we live in. And you might ask me what story. Well, we have a story from Breitbart that says Congress votes to remove bust of Supreme Court justice who's penned the Dred Scott decision, which that decision went ahead and look, it was wrong. That decision was wrong. It passed something with slavery back in the 1800s. I'm trying to find the House follows the move follows that. When Congress voted to remove the bust of Supreme Court Chief Justice Roger Taney, the justice who penned the Dred Scott decision, denying citizenships to Black Americans and defending slavery from the U.S. Capitol. So they removed his bust because he went ahead and it was I think it was a unanimous decision at that time. Let's see. Apparently it was a unanimous decision, so they didn't remove everybody else. Now, this man did make a mistake with this decision. It's the same way. It's the same. Whoever's Chief Justice for Roe v. Wade made a bad decision. But what other decision they made that helped the nation? This is the country we live in, right here. So, all right. With that being said, I want to thank everyone for listening to the Cajun Conservative today. It is an honor and a blessing to always spend some time with you. Remember, we will not have an episode. The next episode will be dropped on Thursday, the 5th of January of 2023. Taking a 2-week vacation. Hope you understand. If something major happens, we'll come up on the show and we will tell you what's going on. But just remember, the reason for the season, ladies and gentlemen, the reason for the season is Christ and Christ alone. Christ came 2,000 years ago to his purpose was to die for our sins, but he came in the form of a child. He was born in this earth, not as any ordinary man. This was fully God, fully man, without sin. And you should remember his birth. You should remember that he came down, but his sole purpose to come down was to die for our sins and to take our place on that cross. Because of that, that's why he came. So this year, please remember this Christmas season, as we celebrate the birth of Christ, that you remember his purpose for coming down. With that being said, I'm going to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Remember, Jesus Christ is coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior, reach out to me. I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and make heaven your eternal home. Until next time, be blessed. See you in 2023. You have a good one.